What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new video. So in this series, I am going to be giving you guys a tutorial on how to speedrun Undertale and the categories neutral and TPE. TPE stands for True Pacifist Ending. I just want to clarify that because some people don't know about that. So first of all, I am gonna go over splits. You can copy my splits, or you can go with the default splits. So I have Blooky here, which is Napstablook, Toriel, Doggo, Royal Dogs, Greater Dog, Papyrus, Spears 1, Spears 2, Dummy, Undyne, Cooking Show, Skip, and we have the new Skip, the play Skip, Marathon, Sands, Asgore Start, Asgore Kill, and the end split. So that's for neutral. You could copy those splits, or you can just go with the default splits, which is just Toriel, Papyrus, Undyne, and then Marathon, Asgore, and the end. That's really all you need. But I prefer more splits because you get more accurate times in the entire run. So let's move on to the TPE splits. So TPE splits are almost the same as normal splits. Well, neutral splits. The only real difference there is there is a Papyrus date. So you want to add that date split, or just split later on your Papyrus splits, because we get the date Papyrus in the True Pacifist Ending. That's just how it works. Also, there is the actual TPE ending, which means there is an Undyne date, an Alphys date, True Lab, Azrael Little Goat. I split there when the fight actually starts, and the end split. So that's really the splits you need. You don't necessarily need all these splits. I would recommend at least getting an Alphys split and a True Lab split, because those are a few important parts of the run. So if you're gonna want to speedrun this game, you have to true reset. True resetting means deleting all of your local game files, so it's like you never played the game before. Also, I want to quickly say here, I forgot to include this in the video, you'll want to copy your Steam game files to a different location, because if you're gonna want to true reset using Steam, it's all just a big hassle. I think the tutorial video I linked to also describe that. Because if you play Genocide, there's a system file 962 or 963 in your save folder, and that can taint your save file. It changes the game slightly, which makes the run invalid. Also, I'll link a video, it's on screen right now, how to true reset if you don't know. And then we can move on. So what you want to do is, you can go for a single letter name. This saves basically no time in neutral, so I would not recommend doing this in neutral unless you have like no creativity and you can't think of a good name. But it saves not even a second in neutral. In TPE, however, it saves about 10-15 seconds, I would say. But if that doesn't really matter if you just want to have fun, like I do. I never use single letter names. I just let my Twitch chat choose the name. So for this run, I am gonna go with I'm just gonna go with my name, really. Okay, so now we can actually start the run. What you want to do is press Z and your split key at the same time here. So you split and you start the run at the same time. This video will only go over ruins, and the other parts will go over other parts of the game. So I added my keycap, by the way. It's an important part of the tutorial, of course. So we start off here, and I am going to be using debug mode throughout this tutorial series. It's kind of important for speedruns, so yeah. So before anyone gets confused, I just want to say I changed my sound files in my Undertale folder. It's legal for speedrunning. It changes no time at all. I'm also using the color mod. That too doesn't change any times in the run. It just changes sprites, and the music changes the music, obviously. But you can use those don't matter. So the first thing you do well, I'm not trying to say debug mode isn't important for speedruns. Debug mode is important to do this tutorial, so I can save wherever I want. So the first thing you'll see is Flowey. When you start off, you'll just want to you want to have him just mash like this. When you can see dialogue, you'll want to do this. It's basically what you're gonna do no matter what. But the actual proper way to do this is just mash like this. I'm obviously already pretty good at it. I've done a lot of runs, and this is the proper way to mash. I'll show you the comparisons. So a quick comparison here. Here you see the proper way of mashing, and next I'm gonna show you the way you will mash in the beginning. It seems the same, but trust me, it's a lot faster if you mash properly. What you want to do here is go there, and with there I mean the top left corner. You can, after that first part, you can't actually mash through it anymore. You need to press Z and Enter just to mash the fastest way. Then you go down here when you get hit, and just keep on mashing Z and Enter. When he attacks you with friendless pellets, you want to keep holding left and down. It saves about a frame. It's not that much of time save, but it's a time save. So here's Toriel, we mash through that, and we just move on. So you can save there. I don't recommend saving there at all, because it's basically useless to save there. It doesn't save any time at all. So we go into the next room. You press this switch, and then you press the next switch. And then you just come in here. Now we mash here with the full capacity. Those are things you can mash with Z and X, because it saves. It doesn't actually save. You actually lose time if you try to mash like the circle mashing, because it's only two dialog boxes, and that makes no difference at all. So it wasn't very clear what I was trying to say here. What it basically was, what I was trying to say is, in the room with the two switches, you can mash with Z and X only, because it's only about two text boxes, so it doesn't make any difference if you mash properly. So we talk to the dummy, because it's faster than fighting. You can fight him, even in TPE, but it's just faster to talk to him. So we flee from Froghead. You'll want to do this as fast as possible, of course. And then we just hold her hand. And whenever you actually have free hands and you only have to hold one arrow key, you'll basically want to circle mash or mash with full capacity. Like, I have a free hand, I only have holding one key, I just use my thumb to press that down. So we just move along here. And you want to optimize your movement here. Hold right and down to prevent from getting an encounter. It's possible to get an encounter in that room, and encounters lose time. Also, you want to go into the right part of that, because you need to move less in the next room. We just mash through this. So you will want to be holding down and right while moving this rock. And then it moves automatically. It saves a half second. It's worth doing because it's easy. So this is the path, you'll just have to remember it. It comes with time, it's pretty easy to do. So here we just use the rock on the bottom. So I try to spare mold smalls whenever I can, because there's quite a big chance to get a mold small there. There's 60% chance. So we just move on to Blookie here. And we keep on cheering him. So when he says, I call it that, look, you don't really have to do anything anymore. Just cheer one more time and you can move on. So now we go into this room. We get a phone call here. So we mash. Then we just move on. We go into this room. And because we have to press the switch, otherwise we won't be able to progress. So we flee from this again. I spared. I am horrible at life. I didn't mean to spare there, that was an accident. It happens sometimes. So I sped up this part, but you need to pay attention to what switch I press. So we just mash here. So this is quite an important part of the run. Well, it's not an important part of the run. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is this is different from neutral or TPE. If you get neutral, we just go in here, talk to her, and walk back. But if we're doing TPE, we actually go into this room and get the pie. Because we use that for Asgore and Azrael. It saves time. So we just go into this room now. So, when she talks about the facts about snails, you'll want to say how to exit the ruins. That's quite important. I'm going to just go ahead and mash like hell. Okay, so now there are some strats for this fight. This fight is up to RNG. So you just keep on sparing and dodging basically all the fire attacks. You'll want to dodge all of those. There are safe spots for most of them. Sometimes it's hard to get to safe spots. So you want to take damage to those hands. The best possible thing is gonna be 5 hands and a skip. And what I mean by a skip is getting 5 hands, which puts you at 3 HP. And when you're at 3 HP, every single attack cancels the attack and saves time. So if you get hit by anything at 3 HP, you're basically done with the fight. But we're not gonna get that here. So we got 3 hands, which is actually pretty bad. You would reset on that if this was an actual run. So now we just keep on pressing Z and enter. Okay, so now she stops talking and we just mash like crazy. Well, we don't mash like crazy. Like, if you mash like crazy, you're basically doing this, and that saves no time. It wastes time, because this is perfect mashing. Well, it's the perfect way of mashing. So you would split when you are able to move again. At that Toriel split. Also, I forgot to say that for the Blooky split, you do the same for that Blooky split. So now we get to Flowey. He's gonna say something, and then we're out of the ruins. So that was the first part of this tutorial series. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it helped you guys. There's more coming, of course. I'm gonna cover the entire neutral and true pacifist route. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna say, boy!